Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
Welcome. Today is the day after Valentine's Day, a depressing day, unless you don't care about Valentine's Day, in which it's just another day.
It
Wait,
could
why would
also be a
today-
depressing day if you don't care about Valentine's Day, okay?
Why would Valentine's Day make today depressing?
No, because you had such a high from your date or whatever. I don't know.
Because your loved one's no longer nice to you? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
That was
Okay, got
yesterday,
it.
okay? Get out.
Nah.
We had ice cream at home. That was our...
Okay.
I don't know why. We're halfway through the month of February. I'm just making stuff
Nice
up now.
segue. That was good. That was
Come
smooth.
to Dice Tower West. Come to Dice Tower West. You still have time.
You want to feel loved again?
I'm so annoyed I forgot to wear the Valentine's Day tie yesterday. It's the one day a year I can wear that tie.
Oh, what are you doing?
Loopy's birthday was yesterday, apparently. Just saw in the chat.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
happy birthday yesterday.
There
Loopy.
you go,
Happy
Loopy.
belated.
Happy Valentine's Day birthday.
All right, well, we're going to get cracking here because we got stuff to talk about. Let's start with the news. Let's start off with what possibly might be Z Garcia's Game of the Year.
I agree.
So this is a game called Streamer Standoff. Flat River Games is releasing this. It's a board game from Maestro Media and Dr. Lupo. Have any of you heard of Dr. Lupo?
No.
No,
Why
I
have
used
you?
to know Dr. Lupo before the degree. It's just Mr. Lupo. And, they were nice enough. But now that they're a doctor, it's like, oh, you can't get a
All right,
word
so-
in edgewise.
So anyway, Dr. Lupo, I looked him up. He's a streamer, at least on YouTube.
Oh.
Oh, it's a
He's
real...
Yeah,
no,
I
he's a
don't
real guy. He has like 1.7 million followers. His videos don't seem to get a ton of views. Some of them are in the millions, like from years ago. But like on average, he has like 20, 30,000 per video.
Okay.
He puts out like one every month. Maybe he's on other things too. So I don't know. Anyhow,
Does he
Okay.
do board games? I'm failing to see the connection.
well, they're collaborating with him to stick his name on the package because it's about being a streamer.
Okay.
So this game is designed by Jeb Havens and Bobby West.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
But let me explain how the game works. You need to take on roles of influencers racing to build up their streaming channels. To gain followers, they will perform actions like doing viral dances blindfolded or doing a speed run.
Like, for real?
See, I can't
Like-
tell because that's like the copy. And I'm looking at the game. It doesn't look like that's how the game is. If it is, it's your game of the year.
Like charade?
You lift me up and then you drop me down.
You can also advance your progress by completing trend cards as you try to become the first to hit 20 million followers.
I love trending things.
It plays in 30 minutes. It's going to cost $20, which means the component quality will be quite low.
Well, no, to be fair, I mean, there's not much to it, right? There's a couple player boards, cards, and
Those cards look like Cards Against Humanity with that little black text in the top.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, why are we still talking about
Yeah.
this game?
I'll tell you why. Because this is what kids want. Last night,
Kids are stupid.
I was with a group of kids and I said, what do you all want to be when you grow up type thing?
Oh,
And half
okay.
of them were shouting YouTuber and stuff like that.
Wild.
That's
That
so
is
crazy.
wild.
That's
Yeah.
so weird.
I was like, hey, you know what my job?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. That's a good, like, take you to school for, like, what's that called? The day that the kids bring the parents to school to
Take
talk.
your child to work day, take your kid to work day.
Yeah, but the opposite of that, where the parent goes to school and tells the kid, here's my job.
Oh, it's like professional day.
Yeah,
It's
whatever
like
that's
a-
called.
yeah.
That'd be good. You'd be, like, the most
What's
popular
that
one there for
called?
sure. The kids would be like, YouTube? You'd get all the questions.
My kids would be very like...
That's true.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%.
All right, so there's a couple games coming out here called, or a game coming out here called Legend Toppen. This is from a German publisher, and I've actually played the top left corner one, Lander Toppen.
Okay.
I had to remind myself I played this. I reviewed it 7 years ago, apparently. And this is a sort of a trick-taking game,
Okay.
but each card has many different stats on it. So if you think, I don't know if either of you have seen Top Trumps.
No.
yes.
So Top Trumps is a game that there's like a gazillion versions of it. So let's say we're playing Marvel superheroes, and I'm like, okay, strength. And then we turn over our cards. Whoever's higher card wins.
It's war.
It's
With,
war, but each card has multiple numbers on it, so it makes it better than war.
Because it's
Not
more
really.
random.
Because I get to look at the card and be like, yo, the Hulk's best stat between smarts, give me something else.
Strength,
speed. There you go. Smarts, strength, and speed. I have the Hulk, so I'm like,
Obviously, strength.
And then you play somebody, and we reveal, and I'm like, haha, mine's better.
But it has sold millions and millions of copies.
Yeah,
and they
it's
make
like-
so many versions. There's Doctor Who and whatever.
Uno. It's sold like, you know.
Wow, I
It's-
despise this.
It's especially popular in UK.
Wow, that's
This
terrible.
is similar, but it's like a trick-taking game. I gave it a 6, the last one with the lands, but now there's people. Anyhow,
By the way, I was thinking of Career Day. Somebody said Career Day.
Oh,
That's-
career day.
that is
what
what
it
it's
is.
called.
That's not necessarily parents, though, is it? That's just a random career. I don't know.
I like someone said it reminds me of Top Trumps. Yes.
That's
Um,
it.
Okay, so Line It is a game coming from Hachette. I've reviewed this game. I really like it. It's a game in which you're placing cards in front of you, ascending or descending, and when you can't, then you score the cards, and you get the number of points equal to the number of cards you have in front of you minus 3.
Okay.
This
But you
isn't.
can store a couple cards in your hand.
Okay, this isn't the one we played. No. Okay.
No, it does look like
What is it? I'm thinking of.
Side Up is Slide Ups.
There was 4 out there, and we put one down in order, and then whatever order you're in, you
Yeah.
take that card, and then that's the new cards to take
Yeah,
for the next
Maxime
round.
Rambo.
Yes,
game.
but
Yeah.
no, this one, you put those cards out in the middle, and you draft them one at a time, and then you can put it in your line, and your line is either ascending or descending. However, you
Mind up. Thank
you
you.
can store a couple cards in your hand so that you don't bust. Also, that +5 you can put in your line, but then your line has to have at least 5 more cards after that. But if it does,
Oh,
it will
dang.
but then it will score 5 points. It's really a simple game, and I like it a lot. But I mean, we're talking a step above Uno.
Okay. And you've played it before, but now it's coming from Gigamic.
I think it was Gigamic originally, and now Hachette's bringing it
Hachette.
to America.
Very cool.
All right. Also, they're bringing Pass. I really like the graphic design of these cards a lot.
Oh, that yellow's hard to see. Hopefully it's a little better in person.
I think
well,
the
look
green is
here.
the hardest.
Look on the screen. It might be just that shot. I don't know.
I don't know why they refuse to put a little black stroke around numbers like that whenever they graphically design this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a trick-taking game, and
There's a renaissance of those right now.
So
yeah,
I've heard over and over.
it basically says if you score 3 passes, whatever that means, you instantly win.
Oh, man.
It's
Shouldn't
coming
the
from
game
Funny
be called
Fox.
Pass then? If you
I
gotta
don't-
do it 3
It makes
times?
a good point.
It's coming out this July. All right, Robo Trick. This is a game coming for the French and German. It's coming from Explorate, and I tend to like their games, even though
I've liked their game so
they
far.
have.
Yeah.
So far, their games have been wildly different.
Yeah.
So
That's
this is another.
adorable.
It's a 3-player only trick-taking game. So this will be available at the Cannes Fair, which is in late February, soon. Let's see, what else we got? We have Scout. You may have heard of this game. Is coming to Target.
There's a lot of little card games.
Yeah, it's more like
so far, it's been
acquisitions and
Yeah.
distributions of little card games.
wow.
This is interesting, though, and again, these are the little things that tend to really make a splash when you think of it. Like every
Yeah.
time we discuss, oh, this is the new game from Uwe Rosenberg. It's like, that's great, and we care, and you folks
Yeah.
watching care, but that stuff doesn't tend to make a splash, really. Scout from Oink being a Target,
yeah.
that's a big deal.
It's that lower impulse buy kind of games that stick around.
It's like $13.99, I think is what it is. And this is going to now all of a sudden be in that many more people's
Yeah.
hands. It might get that many more people to take another look at board and card games and go, oh, this isn't what I thought it was anymore. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't like about this is I hate that little
The type of cover, the type of box.
that
yeah,
box with they hang on racks.
It's
yeah,
the two,
it
it's
has
the
the
two decks
tag,
side
it's a
by
double
side.
loader,
I hate
yeah.
that.
If those tags were perforated, And I've seen a very, very rare occasions that they are, and it came off, then I'm okay with it. Although I still, that means if it hangs like that, that also means that the box is one of those tuck boxes where you have to slide the cards in, and I also hate
and
those.
it looks like it's a side by side, two halves.
That's the worst. You got to cut it exactly in half, slide it in. I used to glue the bottom of those boxes closed, so that the cards wouldn't push their way out the bottom,
right,
or
and
slide
damage
out.
the cards, or
Yeah, I mean, again, you get the packaging is gonna be cheap. Yes.
Yeah.
I
It is what
also
it
wonder if the card quality is gonna be worse. I wonder if Oink is, if the print run they're making for Target, if it'll have its own lower quality, because these cards are good quality if you get the one before this one.
Are they changing the price point to go to Target?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, we'll find out in 3 days. It's coming out February 18th.
I need
very
to know
cool,
right
very
now,
cool.
though.
I would bet the card quality is good. You can buy card games like Target, Walmart, whatever, and the cards are good, like a deck of cards.
Right, but in a game.
no, I mean it might be great, and maybe it's just the packaging that changed. I hope so. The card quality was good, and this is a good game. I definitely recommend it.
All right, Snow Crest. We're getting a little bigger here. This is coming to crowdfunding later this year from Grail Games, designed by Philip Dubarry. So you are in a remote mountains of a snowy land trying to find knowledge, and of course your animals, because that's the thing right now. Everything is humanoid animals. You are controlling a unique faction of priests, farmers, and laborers, building structures, tend the barley fields, harvest juniper from the forest. This really sounds like a Euro game. And present offerings. And uncover the secrets of a bygone age. Overcome the monstrous guardians of this knowledge. That sounds cool.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I haven't seen a game from Philip Dubarry in a while, too. So
He's a little hit and miss for me, but I tend to like him more than not.
What's he done?
Well, one of my favorite games he's done is a game called Revolution, where multiple people are starting revolutions at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
Do we have that in the library?
I don't know.
I like that a lot. Terrible component quality. It's from Steve Jackson Games.
Well, you'd upgrade them anyway, so.
I never upgrade my games. All right, new Eagle Griffin games are coming. The newest Vitel Lacerda game is with the O'Toole is called Speakeasy. It's a cool cover.
That is a cool cover.
Nice. That's so classy.
Lacerda said, "I will make a better nothing personal," I believe is the exact quote.
He said, "Hold my beer."
1920s, during the era of Prohibition, which is when like 90% of these happen. So it's a worker placement card management game. I'm sure it will be quite heavy and hopefully thematic, but I mean, I remember the last time we got excited about the cover of Weather Machine, and we were told that that game is not particularly thematic.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
So I wouldn't hold my breath on this, but you never know.
That is a gorgeous cover, though.
Also from Lacerda, he's co-designed a game coming from Eagle Griffin, House of Fado, and this is a co-design with Joa Quintella Martins, and the last time they worked together was Bot Factory.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that the same one from Bot Factory? Yeah, because this is a smaller version of oh my gosh, the art one, art gallery.
The gallery.
The gallery.
The
Gallerist. The gallerist, nailed it.
Maybe.
Right, isn't it?
The
I don't
gallerist is
think
what I heard. This was kind of like a little. Again, he does that, right? He takes a game and goes boom, boom.
This is
Maybe. This is not
Down
the
ships.
same theme, though. This is like in Portugal, you're going to a restaurant, and
right.
you're listening to this music there. So you have these different musics. You need
crying.
it's this fado music. It's a trio of musicians, a guitarist, a 12-string Portuguese guitar, a singer, and then someone playing a classical guitar.
And
I
then-
like that theme. And you played Bot Factory, right?
I did.
You liked it?
I love Bot Factory.
Yeah, so
I gave it a 9. I really like it.
That's a good sign. These medium
Yeah.
games. Bot Factory seems to have done well.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so.
Is
I
it?
mean,
Okay.
it's getting checked out of the library.
Okay, I guess I hadn't seen it but played. That's awesome. I think it is a fantastic game.
And then we're just going to keep dropping in levels of complexity. We now have Cookie Champion, where they throw the cookies at the screen at high velocity.
What?
Is it a rolling right?
There might be cookie flipping in this.
Also, this cookies
It's a medium
are
weight
not.
strategy game, they say, where you need to collect resources and goods, Choose whether to provide decorations and sell your cookies for cash or deliver them to the presentations for the judges to score. Oh, I see. You make a cookie, then you're like, do I sell this for money or do I have the judge do
I remember
it?
that.
Which is how
Such a weird theme.
I get it from a game perspective. You're like, what do you want to do with something? But from a can
Not
you imagine
cookies, though. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine a baking show? They're making the thing. You're like, I'm not going to do this. Hey, anyone got $50?
Wild. This just doesn't make any sense. If it was an invention, I invented something and I could, sell the patent or I could keep it and use the machine. Okay. But a cookie you baked and you're like, get it to the competition, quick.
Right. Or if you're running a bakery, I guess it could be.
I don't like the cover. I really don't like that cover. It's
like
so
the cover.
weird, and
Yeah.
the theme is weird.
Well,
But
they are slobs. I mean, that one person just pouring flour everywhere.
The icing one
icing guy, that's
really
deliberate.
makes me. Oh,
Actually, I think the cover's hilarious. But
I.
all right, well, I like cookies too. All right, Seaside is a new game coming from Randolph. So Randolph is probably best known for making little card games, like mass market card games. But they've made some other games, Romy Rami, CDSK, which is, I think, right over there.
Yep.
Miller Zoo, which was the one they did in conjunction with Dippin' Dots.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, okay.
Wait, a zoo game? Oh, I guess because Dippin' Dots are sold at zoos.
Yes.
I guess. Is that the connection?
That is the connection,
Okay.
for sure.
Oof.
Anyway, you're creating a coastline in this game by pulling tiles from a bag, applying its effect, and try to collect as many tokens, and whoever has the highest stack of tokens wins. It's designed by Quebec designer Brian Bourgogne.
Coastline. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what cosine had to do with this.
Fair enough.
Okay.
The big selling point of this is you can play this at the beach because the game is waterproof, windproof, and all-terrain. I understand the first one. The second one I understand.
So they're each like 5-pound tokens.
What does all-terrain mean?
Like you can run it over with your car. I don't know, but we need this game immediately.
All terrain, huh?
We will find out.
That seems weird to call a game all terrain.
What are the-
Waterproof and windproof is enough.
What are they making them of then? It can't be wooden.
Plastic.
I think
Yeah, I don't know
it's
why I didn't
wooden.
think of that. Wouldn't be windproof
Or
though. That's
wooden,
really
yeah, if they're
no
wood.
wooden.
No, if they're thick
Unless
wood
it's-
tiles, they're windproof.
Waterproof. I'm thinking.
That's true.
That's true.
They have to be
Wood
plastic.
is not water. Yeah, you're
Right.
Who knows?
They're plastic. They're gonna be Bakelite or something, right? I mean,
Rewood.
Rewood.
I don't know.
There's no way that'd fall apart. No.
Okay. Alrighty.
That looks like it goes on the shelf right next to salt and pepper. Sea salt, pepper salt. What was it called?
Sea salt and paper.
Thank you.
There's a new game coming from Allplay, but it's not going to Kickstarter. You can just pre-order. It's called Things and Rings, which sounds like it was designed by Dr. Seuss.
Oh, this kind of looks like that one game that Matt Leacock put out.
It is
With
a
the
Venn
string.
diagram. It is a party game. And one player is the knower. They put the rings in a triple Venn diagram in the center table. They know the rules to each ring, but everyone else doesn't. So then you put a card in the Venn diagram, and I'll be like, yes, that's where it goes.
Okay.
So it's like half Venn
It's
diagram
half
party game,
Zendo.
half Zendo.
And half Matt Leacock's little string game. Okay. Rings. I'm sorry. Things in rings, not rings in things.
So you don't necessarily need to figure out what the rings stand for per se. You just need to get rid of all the cards in your hand.
Interesting.
Wait, the card goes in the Venn diagram?
Yeah, like I might say this card goes in the red ring, and you're like, it does not. So I'm thinking, okay.
Oh, you don't
Where
physically.
does
I thought
this
you were
card
putting it
go?
underneath. Okay, interesting.
I wonder what the rules are. I bet, I'm not seeing it, but I bet if you place it in, it just goes in red and blue, and it's right, you also get to get rid of another card. That's what I would guess.
Maybe, something
like
like
if
that.
you put it in a harder one.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my thing. Well, this sounds interesting,
What
and
the-
there's like a 99.9% chance we'll be reviewing this on the channel.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder why the rings don't sit flat. That's really bothering me
No,
right
I think
now.
that's just a photo. That's just their stock image there.
Is it
in
going to
fact-
have rings in it?
I wonder if each player will have a set of rings in front of them, or if those things there are just folded up and they become larger rings.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I thought
They're just
they
Like
were.
those
coiled
things
up,
that you
possibly.
snap up and, well, We'll
Yeah.
find out.
I hope it's snappy pieces.
Snappy pieces,
Yeah.
things and rings.
Yeah.
All right, there's another Robot Quest Arena coming out, and this one's moving to GameFound. This is from Wise Wizard Games. And I went and read about it, and I'm assuming from what I read, they weren't particularly clear in what I read, if it's a standalone expansion, but I think that's what it is. That's what it looks like. 4 new robots.
Sure.
I'm sure they mix and match with the other one. So that's coming at some point. I'm sure we'll talk about it in crowd surfing.
I need to
Cute.
play that game still.
Toot.
Wandering Galaxy has been announced from Plaid Hat Games. So this is their new Crossroads game in space.
Oh.
Definitely has a Guardians of the Galaxy feel / I mean, I'm hoping it's similar to their last one, which was fantastic. But
To me, the look of this game actually looks like Tidal Blades in space.
I was like Tidal Blades and Mlem. It's like a combo of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to bring up Molem. But yeah, sure.
Because of cats.
Also because it sucks. But anyhow,
Where's Mike DeLisio?
reaching through the screen right now towards me. So what's interesting about this is the first time that Plaid Hat Games is going to crowdfunding. So this is going to Kickstarter.
Okay.
It's going to launch in mid-2024, but the game they're planning to release it in the quarter 4 of 2024.
Oh,
which
so
means it's
done.
already in production. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We are seeing more of that. We saw that quite a bit yesterday in crowd surfing, too. Like
Yeah.
this year delivery. Now, if they will deliver, who knows? But you look at their timeline, it's like, oh, you want to go to production in a month. You're clearly done developing it. This is just the
Yeah.
funds to develop, or to pay, to produce, not to develop.
You know, this art reminds me of is Titan AE.
Okay, I could see that a little bit, yeah.
But anyway, I've always thought Plaid Hat Games was a Kickstarter-ish company, if that makes sense. They feel like their games should be on Kickstarter anyway, so I'm not kind of surprised.
I don't know. It's interesting because there was a big time gap, not big time gap, what, like 2-3 years maybe, between Forgotten Waters and Freelancers. This is pretty hot on the heels of Freelancers.
Yeah, it is.
And for a game that has so much story and so much intertwining and that kind of
They
stuff.
have more freedom now.
They're also like
They're not
Okay.
underneath that,
they were
but,
developing these
Got it.
simultaneously because this is Jerry Hawthorne,
Right.
and that one was from Donald Schultz.
Oh,
so-
I didn't realize. Okay, I didn't realize that one wasn't Jerry Hawthorne. Okay,
Yeah, so they must have been just kind of working in
got
tandem.
it. I
you
thought
know
they
what
were
I mean?
both Jerry Hawthorne. That
Well,
makes
Jerry
that
Hawthorne
makes
is
sense.
best known for Mice and Mystics.
Yes.
So I don't know that this is going to be the silly Crossroads game we played. This might be I would assume it's a very different game. Jerry Hawthorne has more game, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Mice and Mystics reminds me of Malem.
All right, then we have the search for UAPs, which stands for Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon. So this is the follow-up to the search for Planet X and the follow-up for the search for the lost species, with a couple caveats here. First of all, they picked UAP because I guess that's what government calls these. I think it's a terrible title. Mike said it sounds like some urinary tract infection type thing, you know,
Oh,
the
it
UAPs.
does.
But like, why didn't they just say the search for UFOs? You know what I mean?
I agree. Maybe this is a well-known term I don't know about, but
I don't know. I
okay.
have my phone on me. Like, look up UAP.
I did put UAP in Google already to see, and it does bring this up immediately.
This game
but like unofficial,
or this term?
This term, UAP.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it does bring up an unidentified anomalous phenomena, but I don't know that that's a thing. I don't.
Also, this is from Bezier Games and designer Ted Alspot.
Yeah, so
So it's
I'm
not
a little.
from the same designers as the last two.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right? It's not the same designers. The last two of the same designers. This Ted Osbach designed this one, and then it's co-published by Bezier Games. And I looked, I mean, the board, it looks kind of like the other ones. He says, as a huge fan of both Search 4 games, I'm thrilled to add my own unique spin to the series, says lead designer. But the other designers' names aren't on these, so it's a completely different game. I guess we'll find out. When is this coming out?
Okay, they're actually saying UAP is the term that looks like it's replacing UFO. They don't use UFO anymore. UAP is the new
Basically
term.
all the numbers.
So
Oh,
instead
sure,
of
but
unknown
you-
I didn't
flying
realize
objects,
that.
they're doing what is it? Unidentified.
Anomalous phenomena.
It's unidentified flying objects, right? UFO.
Yes.
Yes.
And then unidentified anomalous phenomenon. I'm not a fan.
I get that, but
all the nuts took over UFO, so then they switched to this. So now all the nuts are taking over this.
But this is not a popular common term, though. We
Not yet.
still say UFO. Okay, it's a UAP. I'm like, bathroom's over there, sir.
Somebody said the search for UTIs. And
Yeah.
I'm going to have a hard time
unsay-
not
yep.
calling this game that.
Yeah.
All right, then finally, there's a new documentary called The Hobby, which is premiering at South by Southwest. You see Candace here from Board Game Geek. She's in it, and there is a possibility, I've not seen the final cut, that we're in it. And I only mention this because they took 10 billion hours of footage of us. So,
Oh, it's those guys.
Yes.
Really nice guys.
yes, they took a ton of footage.
Super nice.
Now, we know from experience that, when you take that much footage,
Yeah.
it can
Right.
get
Oh,
condensed.
sure, yeah.
So, they have my name on it, so maybe I'm in it. I'm like, and let me tell you more about board games.
That's actually
Cut.
you right there high-fiving Candace. They're like, maybe not.
She's a vicious, fun gamer to play against. All right, anyway, so I know that, let's see, it says, with a fascinating cast of charming subjects, including the Roger Ebert of board games, a rock-climbing board game philosopher, and a bird watcher who created an unlikely smash hit. That's Elizabeth Hargrave. Players share
I wanted
personal
the second
stories
one.
of competition, compulsion, creativity, and connection. Well, she might be the rock climber. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just
What's it called? What did I say for the second person? A what?
a rock-climbing board game philosopher.
I don't know who
The only rock climber I know is Nathan McNair from Pandasaurus. He liked climbing rocks.
Also a board game philosopher.
He likes climbing rocks.
Wow, okay. All right.
Anyway, this is coming out. It's premiering at South by Southwest, and we'll let you know where else it's premiering at some point in the future. It looks like it's around 90 minutes.
Okay, so it is a movie. It was a movie or mini-series. Okay,
No,
it's
it's
a
documentary,
movie.
yeah.
Or documentary, yeah.
We'll let you know. We'll
Huh.
let you know. And that, folks, is the news.
Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less, and today I want to talk about the city versions of Ticket to Ride because I feel like these have been flying under the radar for a lot of seasoned board gamers because you hear Ticket to Ride and you think, oh, I already know what that is, and I'm good, thanks. But the city versions provide, first of all, much more condensed gameplay than standard Ticket to Ride, which feels to me a little more in line with the level of strategy required by Ticket to Ride. The city versions are just 15 minutes. So every decision you make really matters. It's still the same thing of you're drawing cards and claiming color-coded routes depending on the cards that you play down, and then you get destination cards that you win if you connect different spots on the board. So the basics remain the same, but in the city versions, they have different rules for additional points in each of the games, like different challenges. So you have something fresh that you're doing in each game that just tweaks the rules a little bit, so I don't feel like I'm doing just the same thing. And they've come out with about one a year since 2018. They missed a year during COVID. So they started with New York, and you're driving around town, you're putting out taxis, it's very thematic, and you get additional points for going to tourist attractions. Then they came out with London, which is set in the 1970s, and you're placing buses, London buses out, and you get additional points if you connect different districts. And it's nice because if you connect District 1, it's worth 1 point, but then 2 is more points, and 3, and so on. So it's as I'm placing down buses, I'm thinking, oh gosh, how can I manage to swing it so I can get the largest district and get more points, which really ups the level of interest I have while I'm playing the game, and I feel like I'm getting to do interesting things, even though it's just Ticket to Ride. Next is Amsterdam, came out in 2020. It's set in the 1700s, and you're a merchant in Amsterdam, and you're putting out little wagons, and you get a merchandise bonus at the end of the game, and instead of destination cards, you have contract tickets you're trying to fulfill. And San Francisco came out in 2022. It's set in the 1960s, and there are cable cars and souvenir tokens. Berlin just came out this year. You get to use streetcars, and you venture under the streets to incorporate the subway system into your route. And then they've announced Paris is coming out, and you will get to use red, white, and blue cards to play. They play a special role in building your own version of the Paris Metro. So these are all nice, they're solid, and what's great about Ticket to Ride in general, but especially the city versions, is they are great for people that are new to modern board games, but they also work really well for experienced gamers who will still have a nice time and feel like they have a nice level of challenge as they play. And they're all smaller boxes, and they're at excellent price points. I think full price, they're about $25 a pop, but all of the 3 older versions you can easily find for under $15. So it's great bang for your buck. And it is very well done, very thematic, and an excellent game. So you should check out all of them. So that's it for me today. You can check out more of my content on my YouTube channel or on my website. Thanks for having me on, and back to the folks in the studio.
Vanessa Z did not throw up.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
They were talking about how we done hot ones, and we did a wrap-up party for one of our Kickstarter things, and it was just 2 people who did it. It was Roy and Jason. And I saved the hottest sauce for last, and then found out that it had gone flat or whatever the thing was at the end. So that one, but the leading up to that, they were pretty hot sauces. I didn't partake because I know what what's in those hot sauces.
Yeah, hot ones scare me because I'm like, I love heat, but I like heat for the flavor of heat. Just for the sake of being hot is dumb.
Yeah, I don't remember.
it's
I
like-
don't recall what this is in reference to, but I clearly wasn't involved.
All right, so we're talking, our top 3 today is buildings. Right? That's what I said.
Buildings, yes.
That's what you said.
This is actually, to me, this is a fascinating topic because I like architecture around the world. I like looking at buildings. I like going to see cool structures.
I like architecture, but buildings is very narrow. Like I couldn't put the Golden Gate Bridge on here because it's not a building.
I understand that's because we'll save structures for another time.
Oh, okay. Now, structures could have these buildings, though, in them.
That's true. I'll be
Right.
like non-livable structures. How's that? Or what's the word for that?
Well, none of these. Some of these are not livable.
Not livable's the wrong word, but they're not a, I wouldn't call the Eiffel Tower a building. I would call it a structure.
It's a structure, yes.
Wait, why? What? It's not a building?
It's a tower.
No one goes in
No,
there,
no, the
right?
email was exactly, it was like, your email to us was top 3 buildings, open parenthesis, i.e. Eiffel Tower, close parenthesis.
Is that what it was?
Oh, you know what? No, maybe it was Empire State Building. Hold on.
Yeah,
It
Empire
was,
State
okay, never
Building
mind.
was
All right,
there,
I take
yeah.
it back.
Empire State
Dang it.
Building's what the email
I hate
said.
giving you credit.
Anyway, all right. What are we
painful.
doing here?
All right, go ahead. What you got?
My number 3 is Alcatraz.
Good pick.
Have you been there?
No.
Good pick.
This was a weird topic. I just picked 3 things that I like.
I don't think it's as weird as you guys are saying. Like,
It's
Not that like I'm not like,
struggled
ooh,
with
I'm
this.
suddenly jazzed. 3 buildings? How could I possibly keep it to just 3? I had to really
whatever. We
find
talk about
3.
our 3 favorite vegetables. We can talk about buildings in the
No, I'm
world.
not saying we shouldn't talk about it.
Vegetables,
I'm
I'm
saying
way more excited if we picked vegetables because I eat them.
it took me all week to come up with 3.
Anyway, my number 3, Alcatraz. No, I have not been there. I'd like to go, and I got close once. I was in the area, but there were no tickets to go over there and hop on the ferry and go. But it looks really cool. I love the idea of the building too, and the setting of it, and the fact that it is, it has all of the historical significance of it being an ex-prison and its own island, or whatever, little spit of land.
That's cool.
I like the idea of it. I like the look of it. And I'd like to visit it, yeah, but I have not. So my number 3, Alcatraz.
I haven't ordered mine. Let me see it real quick.
Hey,
My number 3 is the Batman building in Nashville. I just thought it was really cool. Makes me smile every time I pass it on the interstate.
All right. I know exactly what building you're talking about.
There you go. It's really cool. Always made me smile.
All right. My number 3 are the Petronas Towers in KL, Malaysia. I always thought they were cool. I saw them the first time was in that dumb movie with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones, where they robbed them.
oh gosh, yeah.
I feel like I need to Google this stuff as you guys talk about it.
Anyway, the Petronas Towers are the tallest set of twin towers in the world. They were taller even than the Twin Towers, barely, but they were. I think they're really cool. They have a gigantic mall underneath it, a huge mall. maybe the biggest mall I've ever been in. And then the towers themselves are just amazing. I think they look fantastic. So that's my number 3.
The Patronus, got it. Harry Potter's on the table is what you're saying. Here we go.
I could do
Number
fantasy
2,
buildings.
Hogwarts.
That was on my list. He told me I couldn't use fantasy ones.
Hey man, he just said Patronus.
What?
Guess what?
The Patronus towers are a real thing.
Wingardium Leviosa, son, okay?
That was on my list. I took it off.
Harry Potter's
Are you serious?
West Wing.
Oh,
You're being
Entrapment.
serious right now.
Entrapment's the movie.
Entrapment, yeah. Now, my number 2 is
not
that
serious.
one church that is very iconic looking in Reykjavik, which I had to look up, and I'm going to attempt to pronounce now. Hallgrímskirkja. And it is that one tower that has the big tower in the center. It's a church, like I said, and it has the little, like, things down
Did you
the
go
side.
with me when I went to it?
You went into it?
I didn't go into it. I
What's this
walked up
called?
to it. It's like at the top of this hill. I was like, I
Yes,
climbed up that hill.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it was
Plus,
really
I have
cool.
like a little fridge magnet of it and stuff.
Well, those they sell everywhere there. So,
yeah. So that one is really cool. I
I
like the
see
look
it.
of it. It's not that. It's big. It's actually one of the biggest buildings or tallest buildings in Iceland.
75 meters.
Yeah,
I
but
looked it up
it's,
this morning, actually.
but it's is it on your list?
No,
You
but
just looked it up,
it's on my list of buildings I considered.
Yeah. So I really like it. It's a very elegant building. So that's my number 2.
That's cool. My number 2 is the LDS DC Temple. If you're going down 95, I love the building because if you're going down 95 from Baltimore into DC, it's this big white building with, I think it's 6 spires on it.
Has statues,
on the corners.
right? On the outside, maybe?
No, I don't think so. But you see it like you're going down and you come over this hill on 95 and boom, all of a sudden it's right there and it's like very big, taking up all 6 lanes. It's in the distance, but it's so big it looks like it's like taking over the highway. And at night it's really cool because you're going down and 95 isn't super well lit and the building is always lit from below. So you come up over that little hill, it's like right there, boom, just really, really bright. It's absolutely gorgeous. And again, I really like going down that road and just seeing it lit up at night. It's really pretty.
All right, well, I also have a religious structure for my number 2, and that is St. Paul's Cathedral in London.
We all picked a religious structure for number 2.
That's true,
Oh.
we did.
Mine's a church.
I thought
I
about
didn't
putting
know there's a church.
Westminster
Oh, wow.
Abbey because
Huh.
I think Westminster Abbey and any cathedral, you walk inside them. That one cathedral we went to with Luke that one time.
Yes.
That's like I think they're amazing. But
There's a lot of buildings that were on the list as possibilities in the UK for me.
sure.
They got a lot of them.
But St. Paul's Cathedral, I climbed to the top of it, which was definitely a trek, and it's neat. It's the fact that it survived the German bombings is also really cool. Inside it is amazing. I just think it's a really cool structure. I really liked it. And I know a lot of people are mentioning castles in the comments. I've never been to a castle. So.
Yes, you have. Been to Castle Rising.
Oh, that's true. That was a small castle.
It's a fairly small castle.
I almost, but there's a couple castle ruins that I've been to. I've been to the UK a couple times, and I prefer to do that over like the churches and the actual standing buildings. I love going to see the different ruins.
I do want to see
So
castles.
they're so fun.
All right, my number 1 I've also never been to, but it is one iconic building, and it is a gorgeous building, seemingly. Again, I've never been there, and that is the Sydney Opera House.
That's cool. That's one I want to see.
I thought of that
Sydney
like
Opera
sitting
House.
here like 2 minutes ago. I was like, oh, I should have done Sydney Opera House. So I'm really glad you thought of it
Yeah,
because
the
I
Sydney
completely
Opera House
forgot.
is gorgeous.
That's cool.
It's so iconic. Also,
Yeah.
it's one of those buildings that you're just like, you see it in something, in a movie, in a picture, whatever, you immediately recognize it. It's up there with the Eiffel Tower. It's up there with all those buildings or structures that are so iconic. Yeah, so legendary almost. There we go. That's my number 1.
My number 1 is I don't know. Again, I feel like all 3 of mine are kind of dumb buildings, but my number 1 is the Union Station in DC. I really like that building. If you take the train down, what?
Really?
I really, really think it has the.
I'm trying to think of it. Just a big square building, isn't it? A big.
I like the inside. We weren't considering the inside.
Isn't it? Well, I just went there when me and my son were in D.C. We went there like
It's
6
so
times.
pretty. It has those massive marble statues
that's
inside
true.
the big auditorium. You look up and it's got all like, it's not lattice, but the ceiling's like really intricate as well. I love the marble work in there, the marble and the tile combination in it. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I know it's just a train station, but
No, it's a cool one. I mean,
really like it. Outside, it has like that Coliseum kind of look, with like the big pillars, and
You're
then you go
right.
in, and it's
That
like
is cool.
you go in, it just goes from this little building to really opens up, and it's just I love that a lot of times they'll have like live music in there playing. They'll have like a little trio,
Oh, that's cool.
and that's really cool because it just has really nice acoustics. So yeah, I always love taking the train from Baltimore into DC. It's my favorite way to go because I'd get to go through that station and don't have to pay for parking.
My number one is in Korea. I struggle not to put too many of buildings from Korea in here, but this is here's a picture of it. This is Lotte World. So Lotte World is a gigantic complex, humongous building. It's the largest indoor amusement park in the world. That even has an outside section and then has one of the tallest towers in the world connected to it. So it's this gigantic thing. So at the bottom of it, there's like a mall and there's an ice skating rink. And then in those next levels, there's like rides all throughout the levels. There's a roller coaster that goes through the whole thing, the French Revolution. I just love this building. It's so cool. I went here like every year when I lived in Korea. And then when Laura and I went back to visit, we went here again because I just think it's cool. It's their Disney of sorts. They have Lotte, two little raccoons are there. They're not nearly as popular as Mickey Mouse.
Oh, is that like their mascot?
I don't know
thing?
those.
But I really like that place. I just think it's so neat because you get on a ride and you're like going through water, and I'm like, where was this? It's like all in the
That's cool.
same gigantic building.
Huh, that's cool.
To the point where when I went to Minneapolis, to the what's the mall there? The giant Mall of America.
I didn't know that was in Indianapolis.
Was it not? Is it not Minneapolis?
I don't know.
The Twin Cities? Whatever. I went to Mall of America, and Mall of America has an indoor amusement park, and when I saw it, I was like, this is pathetic
Yeah.
compared to that one.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Lotte
cool.
World is just so huge.
That's cool.
It's really cool. And then, yeah, someone says, better, cheaper than Disney World? Definitely. I just looked up the prices. It's $55 an adult. That's definitely cheaper than Disney World.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mall of America is Minneapolis. Okay, good. I thought so. But I'm not-
You said Indianapolis, though.
I said Minneapolis, but I probably mispronounced it and you heard Indianapolis.
Okay.
I thought I said Minneapolis.
I thought
I meant Minneapolis for sure. I know it's not in Indianapolis. So I'd go there every time I went to Gen Con. But anyway, I really like Mall of America was neat-esque, but Lotte World blows it away.
Where's Mall of America?
Minneapolis.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wow.
I'm just asking. I don't know. I've never been to no mall.
Did I say Indianapolis? And I
Oh,
thought,
you probably said
and
Minneapolis.
I put Minneapolis in my head. Now you got me.
I think you said. You know what? Here's the thing. It's on tape.
And they'll let us know in the comments multiple times. At least, I'm going to say 40 people let us know in the comments
All right.
what you said.
Oh, okay.
He said Minneapolis. Yeah. You did. You definitely did.
I heard
You're
Indianapolis.
gaslighting me.
Yeah, why are you gaslighting him? Okay. Come on.
Alrighty. So that is our 3 favorite buildings. Let's keep going.
Gateway Corner is a segment in which I'm going to be taking a look at different gateway games that I have been able to find a lot of success with at different board game events that I've hosted. I don't want you to think that I'm thinking that these are the games that people have to play in order to get into the hobby. What I'm really talking about here are simply games that I have had a lot of success with as I'm teaching new people as they're coming into the hobby. These are the games that I've had a lot of success with. I don't think that there is any one kind of game that is the best kind of gateway game that's out there. I do believe that you should really individualize the kinds of games that you're using as gateway games. What works with one person might not work for another person or another group of people. So you really kind of have to individualize those games that you're going to use in a gateway type situation with someone who is trying out the hobby for the first or one of the early times in their journey. How do you do that? Well, you've got to ask them questions. What kinds of things are they interested in? Have they ever played other kinds of games? What other kinds of games do they enjoy? You've got to start that conversation. You can't just use the John Wayne method and throw them into the deep end and say, hey, let's play TI4, you maybe don't want to do that. Now, a game that I've had some success with at a very recent board game event was After Us. Let me tell you, the very first reason why I think this is a great gateway experience is because of the table presence that it has. It's got great components, great artwork. Vincent Dutrait is one of my favorite artists for board games. The playmat is the Lost Jungle playmat from Game Toppers that has his artwork on it as well. So it's just a great experience visually from the get-go. Second reason why I think it's a great gateway experience is because the main mechanism of piecing these frames together so that you can generate resources and buy your victory points and have the resources to gain more primates into your clan. These are all very procedural, and you do the same thing over and over and over again. It lends itself to having those light bulb moments, which is what I'm really looking for in gateway experiences, and that is the light bulb moment where they are now on autopilot. You don't have to teach them the game anymore, and now they're simply having fun playing the game. The other thing that really solidifies this as a gateway game experience for me is the fact that the point of the game is just a race to get around to 80 points, and that really rings familiar to a lot of people as well. Another thing is that it's very much a multiplayer solitaire game where nobody is really directly conflicting with anybody else. I think all these things makes After Us a great gateway experience. I was able to teach it to a group of no less than 6 people, myself and 5 others. 4 of them were people who had were basically new to gaming. 2 of them actually said, we're pretty intimidated. I looked at them and I said, would you just give me the opportunity to teach this game to you? I think you'll have fun. They agreed, and definitely by the end of the game, they were having a great time and they were super excited to be enjoying the game. This has also a great solo mode in it as well. And it also works well for just a 2-player experience. So maybe you and a significant other can give it a try at a table. I highly recommend it. Go give it a try. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
So what we're taking a look at today here is the Clear series. So these come packaged in groups of 4 here. You can see they're from Board V. So these are the standard card trays. I already have out the small card trays and the component containers. And then here we have the card holders. So let's just take a look at each of these. Now, the card trays, you can see these cards are going to slide into them. So let's get out a deck of cards here from a game and see how this works. So you can kind of put them in like this, and then I can just pull them out. Now these sit next to each other, but there is a kind of a connecting piece in here where you can connect them. So you put several next to each other like that. Now the small card trays, these, so I have a deck here of smaller cards. So these look like they can go in 2 different ways. You can put them here where you can pull the top card off, but it looks like you can also stick them here in the end like that. These also connect to each other. The component bins, looks like they use up a lot of space, but again, you can have these on a table. They seem pretty easy to grab things out of. And then finally we have these card trays. So this looks like one. Do these attach to each other in the end? Oh yeah, looks like you can. Why would you want to build them? I guess so you could have like a dual thing facing you like that. And then you just put the cards in them. So I have 2 levels of cards like that. Okay, well that looks like it works pretty well.
Does it all 4?
All right, we're trying to make this into a full square, having watched Tom talk about it here. Yeah, right?
Oh.
This is so
That
useless.
one's off, but...
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
These I'm actually I'm fairly impressed with these. The cards and having the 2 layers. I really like that.
Oh, jeez.
I like these a lot.
I like that there's 2. That they're staggered like that. You can see both.
Also, they're not going to.
Nice.
Some of these you put them in, the cards fall out all the time. These feel more sturdy. Oh.
What do you mean?
Yes, if you turn it upside down.
What do you mean?
Of course they're going to come out.
Oh, you meant
It's
this
garbage.
way. Hey, okay.
I don't love the component containers. They're deep and everything.
I don't.
This is this hard plastic. I'm always worried these are going to fall and crack. This hard plastic is so, to me, usually it's breakable.
I don't love ones that the deeper ones. I think you do, right? The deeper I like, because I don't like to have to come up the side. I like to be able to get in without like hitting the side of my hand.
I'm not so worried about the depth. I'm worried about the area. Like, can I get my hand in there?
I like these
it's
card
fine.
holders.
Yeah.
I like the card
Aren't
holders
they
quite
neat?
a bit, yeah. Especially if
They're
you're playing at
nice.
a table that is pretty tall. Because if they're too low,
Yeah.
they actually don't sit back very much at all. You know, I'd want them to be at a slight sharper angle or less sharp angle. But if you're sitting at a table where they're pretty high up on you, you're like up here, they're great. And then again, the 2 levels work really well.
It's still pretty good. Like
They won't flop, you know. I don't
Yeah,
have that feeling
that's
of like
nice.
if this flips over or moves a little bit, they're gonna fall out. They're in there, man. Look at that.
Tom, someone asked where they're from. Where'd you get them?
I mentioned it in the thing. Now I forgot the company. Z said their logo looked like Hanes.
It does. But you got it online?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to say they're from Korea, but
They're from that mall.
no.
I do like when card holders like this have the draw and discard. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why they make the small one that way, but then the large one here is.
Maybe it'd be too big.
I'm confused by this. What is all this design here? What is happening?
Well, I think you can do 2 different things. You can stand it up,
Okay.
or you can have it like this. So since it's raised, it's easy to pull cards out.
And why have that? Because like that gets in the hand. I'd rather it be a little more open top.
I'd
Kinda
rather
like
just
this
be
one.
open in general. I'm not sure why the top is there.
So you can stand. Otherwise, they flop out. I mean,
But they could have just without this top bar. It still would have worked.
I'm also not convinced that they all need to be attached together. They can be.
sure. I like the. I'm not sure I like that card. The big ones, or the other one for that matter. But I like these card racks quite a bit. I think this is very nice. This is my favorite one. And the bins are not bad.
Put me some components in there.
You got it. I'm gonna get you some components in here. A cow,
Just
a meeple. No, okay, you're gonna wait. And then a barrel.
I don't want a barrel.
Those are yours, okay? Okay, so in this game, what you're trying to do is you're trying to control the barrels with the cow, okay? So on your turn, you either deploy a cow, you recall the moo-moos, or you make a play for the field, they call it.
What are the chances I'd actually play this game?
0 to -6.
Which
Mostly
game?
because it.
The game I'm making up because of these components. These
Oh,
random
well,
components.
I'm excited. I'm looking for the name of the company, but
I do like that these are at an angle, but I don't like the depth to. I don't like the depth of them. But I like that it's at an angle. That is nice.
I do like them.
well, I said it earlier. You just have to
Yeah.
go back and look at it then.
Yeah, no, I like these.
Yeah,
I think
I'm going to keep the card holders in our main studio for usage like in live plays and stuff because also they're clear so they won't block.
I agree. That's a good call. Yeah, I like these little tubbies. My
Those I
favorite
don't-
thing is this.
I don't like those as much because I like the ones that are closable. You can keep in the
In the
game itself.
Right. As a put a
For
lid on and
container.
keep it in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Containers. All right. Well, there you go, folks.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right, that's it for another Board Game Smorgasbord. We'll be back later today at 1 o'clock, so 3 hours from now,
at 1?
with the 6th episode of The Four Coins as we continue in the depths of our imaginations.
Dropped it.
You don't give away your secrets. That's not how you do magic. Oh my gosh.
Until next time, I'm Tom Basil.
I'm Camilla.
I'm a magician.
The best one I know.